like Rashee Rice might be out for the year. We don't have definitive news on that yet. It's the latest tough injury. Hollywood Brown hasn't played yet. Pacheco's still recovering from a broken leg. Now, in the Chiefs' last 10 games, this is including the playoffs, they're 10-0. The interesting thing here is it's the smallest point differential for a 10-0 team of all time.
You know the second smallest?
I'm going to guess also the Chiefs?
2020 Chiefs, 84 points.
So it's either like you're squeaking by or you know how to win.
Yeah.
But with all these injuries, are the Chiefs in trouble?
I'll answer that in a second.
Okay.
First, I want to say this. Yeah, they've been close games. They also are against literally the best the league has to offer. The 10-game winning streak, who are the best teams in the AFC North? The Bills and the Dolphins, the last few years.
East, yeah.
That's two, or AFC East, pardon me. That's twice. AFC North, Ravens and Bengals typically, 4 of the wins are against them. The AFC West, other than the Chiefs, the Chargers, 2 of the wins are against them. What about the whole NFC conference? Well, the defending champion is the Niners. 1 of the wins is against them, and then a win against the Falcons. So 9 of the 10. So that's first thing. Second thing is, because once again, a Chiefs game was all but ended by the closer. And the closer in this league is Chris Jones. And I would like to show you this play, and then I would like to give you a stat that is not true technically, but I feel like it is. I don't know how many career sacks Chris Jones has in the first quarter on first down, but I'm going to guess it's 0. And I watch all these D linemen across the league, like Nicky Bosa, who's awesome. Yesterday, it's like, oh, backup tackle, overmatched team. Here's a third of my sacks for the year. I watched Aiden Hutchinson do it. I watched Myles Garrett do it his whole career. I watched this guy just take those games off because they're going to win anyway. And then in the biggest spots, in the biggest moments to win conference championship games, Super Bowls, and big games, he comes through. So I got a banner for Chris Jones because we never talk about him. Better than your favorite D lineman. I don't care who he is.
I think that's fair.
Now to the Chiefs as a whole. Here's what we know. Without their number 1 receiver, without their number 2 receiver, without their number 1 running back, their left tackle's been benched, their tight end, Wilds put him on watch, and Todd McShay said, out of shape, doesn't even care about football anymore. So, here's the depth chart right now. The running back depth chart is a guy who the Cleveland Browns, who are terrible, cut. A guy who the Denver Broncos, who are terrible, cut. An undrafted free agent whose own family was like not making the league. That's the running back room. The wide receiver room is now a rookie, skinnier than me.
Yeah.
A guy, the New York Jets, who are terrible, cut. A guy, the New England Patriots, who are terrible, cut. And a guy who's 28 years old who went to Penn who brew mocks because of that. So if those are the weapons
psychology
that Patrick Mahomes has to work with, and they end up pulling off the first three-peat ever in that context, then this is banner number 2.
Oh, wow.
It's the fastest GOAT debate ever. Because if under these circumstances, with this team, with a washed-watch tight end, with nothing but undrafted and cut players and a 160-pound rookie wide receiver, they become the first team ever to win 3 straight Super Bowls,
impressive.
Then that will be conventional wisdom. So do I think they're in trouble? No, I don't. Do I think there's going to be a lot of shows where like, man, that Chiefs game sure was ugly that they won? Yeah, I do. But no, I don't think they're in trouble.
I hate to spoil the heated, animated back and forth.
Yeah.
You're wrong. Nick's right. I mean, if last year, when they lost 5 out of 8 games in one stretch, when they led the league in drops, when they didn't have home field advantage through the AFC playoffs, and they still won the Super Bowl, they're not in trouble as long as he and Travis Kelce are on the roster. Anybody outside of those 3, as you're right, as great as Jones is, they might be able to survive that because obviously defense is carrying.
I think they have to have. I think you said the 3 guys they have to have.
You cannot count them. Yesterday, all right, without Rashee Wright, he went down in the first quarter, and they were down 7-0, down 10-0 by the time they got the ball back, right? And they outscored them. They outscored one of the best defensive teams so far in the league.
Still the number
that was
one
only
scoring
allowing 12 points a game.
Yep.
Outscored them 17-0 the rest of the way. Without Pacheco, Isaiah Pacheco, the running back, without obviously Rashee Rice, it's just Mahomes just gets it done. The defense is great, but the offense just does whatever it has to do to win. And so, no, they're not in trouble. Now, I do think Kelsey, Nick, I know you think he's kind of been pacing himself. I don't know that he's not going to be able to pace himself until I think they'll make a trade. They have the last 2 years for a receiver before the deadline. Could be Amari Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins. They had talked about him as a free agent. So one of those guys will help. But until then, Kelsey's going to have to be Kelsey, or at least close. Do what he did yesterday. And Xavier Worthy, I think, is going to have to become more than kind of a gadget, big play guy. Or at least they're going to need more big plays. Yeah. And so,
they did go to Xavier on the game's clinching offensive play. The play they tried to go to him to last week, and they didn't have it right. There's one more banner. I don't even know what it is. What are we?
Henry starts the game off with an 87-yard run, and the Ravens never looked back. Almost 200 on the day for him. Caught a TD too. Lamar had 3 total touchdowns. Here's Kyle Hamilton.
I think it says a lot, but at the same time, we didn't win a Super Bowl today. So Bengals next week, division game, going on the road, big win for us today. But we got to move forward to next week, and it's only week 4, and we're trying to get to what we need to get to. We didn't get to last year, so we got a long road ahead of us. But I think we're on a good path.
Brew, did Baltimore prove they're the real deal?
Does this answer your question?
Well, that felt silly asking.
Does this answer your question? I have waited 4 weeks. 4 weeks. This was supposed to happen against the Chiefs. I've waited 4 weeks to put on the sunglasses, the Versace robe that I'm sure Nick wishes he never bought me, and, of course, the Ravens-inspired Jordan 12s.
Yeah.
All right, and finally it is here because, yes, the Ravens are back. Yes, the Ravens are the real deal. And all of this means, Wilds, that the Ravens invited the Bills over to their house for a game of tackle football in the backyard. Winner got to gloat. Loser had to make lunch for the winner. And you know what that means.
What did they make?
They made him a sandwich, some potato chips, and a soda pop.
We're back to normal-sized sandwich.
Yeah, thank God.
Soda pop.
This is early. It's only week 4. So it's just a regular sandwich.
Can I say, now,
what?
Who's going to eat that afterwards? These bits are now just becoming your day.
Right. And I'm going to
bring it home and eat it for dinner while I watch the game tonight.
I heard when I was walking upstairs today and Brew was in his cubby, I heard him being like, and make sure they tell them no mayo. And I'm like, wait, that doesn't matter for the bit. And it's just because it's how he wants the sandwich made. But that's
the best thing is I get these sneakers.
Fantastic. I think Brew should get to enjoy this.
Of course.
Because you said 4 weeks, but and not being a smart aleck here, it's longer. Because you were ready for the purple Jordans.
Oh, gosh.
5 Ravens games ago, the AFC Championship game. And then you thought we were going to get it in week 1. Week 2, you wouldn't have broke it out because it was the Raiders. And then week 3, I know you were there crushing the Cowboys on the road. This would have made more sense.
Fell back a little bit.
And so it's not only that they beat a really good team, a team that some people foolishly had atop their facile power rankings, but I think everyone had in the top 3. But it's also, and I'll give it right back to you on this, Brew, they won playing the exact way you would prefer everyone play football. Tough-nosed defense, running the ball, and because of that, and because I'm happy for you, a rare banner that is not Chiefs related.
I don't trust it.
Oh, it is. The return of the back. With Derrick Henry and Chris Broussard. Because this is, when they signed Derrick Henry, this is what you saw coming. That they would just punch people in the mouth. And they did it really for the first time all year offensively. and defensively, where they looked like you kind of, in your mind's eye, the Ravens defense is supposed to look, and they looked to me like they were last year.